nice atmosphere, sort of in the morning mist. I was very tired, and well, then it's this big, I don't know, like a big camp on Staten Island where everybody sits around and waits and has a bagel, and the people are wrapped up in aluminum blankets.
The start at the Verrazano Narrows Bridge is one of the most fun experiences of your life. You're together with all these other people who are nervous and afraid and psyched up, and everybody's in the same position, and that's a lot of fun in and of itself.
And once it starts, you get carried by the runners, running over the Verrazano Bridge and then all through Brooklyn, that long stretch, and through Williamsburg. It was amazing because I didn't feel it. You just run, and then they play the music, and the crowds are very strong, and a lot of people come out on the street.
Some of the worst mistakes people make are rushing out in the first miles and kilometers, and they haven't put the building blocks in that they need in the early stages to have a really strong race. So what we always advise, those first few miles, you're just warming up. You know, I like to say at 10 miles, you want to be just feeling like you're walking. And then you get to the middle of the race. You're starting to feel that you've been out there a while now. The middle of the race is a really good time as you get to the half marathon point to talk a little bit with people. You can still be having a little bit of fun out there and prepare yourself for what's ahead. And in New York, what's ahead is the biggest rush most people will ever have in their athletic life.
First Avenue, when you come into Manhattan, it got really difficult. And I started walking a little bit, and then I started running again. And I couldn't really talk. I mean, I was surprised because some people, for them, it was really like a walk in the park. I remember all the way down to near Central Park, I was really concentrating very hard to continue and to be able to run. It was like, it wasn't that easy anymore. And there was this elderly couple, maybe in their 60s, who'd run the whole way, and very casually they overtook me, and they were talking about their taxes, and then I sort of crawled on behind them.
In New York, you get to the 15-mile point, and you come off the Queensboro Bridge into the thunder of Manhattan and the crowds of Manhattan. The biggest risk point is mile 16 to 20. With those crowds, gets really tempting to get ahead of yourself, but it's all in the last 10K. You know, people think there's a disconnect between the professional runners and the masses. There are so many connection points, many more than disconnects. The professional runners are ultimately doing the same thing that the recreational runner or the fitness runner. What they teach us is how to not burn out in the first miles. I mean, they've got to be smart too. They've got to be strong at the end. It doesn't matter who's winning at the halfway point.
It was 5 hours and 36 minutes. There was a woman dressed up as a Christmas tree. I was very keen on overtaking. It was pretty bad. Everything was stiff and I had like blisters, but I wanted to make it. My whole thing was, okay, I want to, like, quote unquote, survive it. I just don't want to have to take the subway.
The marathon is not for everybody. But I would say anyone that really wants to do a marathon can do it. You know, I think our professional runners have a good perspective on this. This is not life and death. Some are going to have a great day, some are going to have an okay day, and some are going to have a bad day. And that's true for everybody. And you get out there, you give it your best on that day with what you're dealt with that day. And in that way, everybody's exactly the same way.